Right. So today is August 6th, I believe. Yeah, as you can see, I'm in my vehicle. I'm going over the paperwork that I'm filling out. It's called Petition for Emergency Relief under Tenant Remedy Act HOU602. And this petition that I'm filling out, shows the unit that I'm in, which is 146 Ivy West. Make sure this. Yeah, okay. There we go. Make sure that this is correct. Y'all can see this. So it's asking me what's my request for release from the court because I checked. The government has revoked rental. I guess I shouldn't put that. Maybe I'm not sure. But it says the government has revoked rental license issued condemnation order issued a notice of intent or to condemn or otherwise deemed the property inhabitable. So the police is part of the government, but they deemed that the property was uninhabitable because of the sewage, I believe. The toilet was unoperable due to Carl's neglect. His negligence. He said that he was going to fix the toilet. He never fixed the toilet, obviously, as far as I know. However, that's the only thing, that's the only reason why I checked that. But maybe it's the loss of energy or services, facilities the landlord is responsible for providing, specifically sanitation, loss of sanitation facilities. But a serious infestation, that's another one. So mainly it's these two. The other things, yeah, they're inconveniences, but do they make the unit unlivable? No. But they're severe problems that must be addressed. So I'm not sure if I should check this or that, So I checked that initially, but, maybe white out and put this in there instead. I'm not sure. But number 5, it says, explain the reason why I need emergency relief. I put in there, I was told after signing the lease that there was a roach infestation in the building and not to have any expectation that pests will ever be remedied. Carl claimed the repairs would be expensive and there is no profit in fixing the unit. Carl also explained that the toilet does not work due to some issues. This is a breach of warranty of habitability, and Carl burglarized the unit, removing the door, and unlawfully eviction. That's what I'm stating. But this is the reason why I need the relief, because of X, Y, and Z. Let's keep on going. I reported the emergency to. Who am I supposed to report the emergency to? I think that I made a complaint to HUD, but I ain't got nothing back from them. I also reported the emergency to my housing coordinator. I guess I could put them in there. Explain how you tried to tell the building owner and management the problem. Describe. Okay, so I could possibly just put in there Minnesota One Stop. I reached out to them, and I let them know the roach infestation. They came over and I got a video of them, identifying and, they didn't deny that there was a roach infestation. Let's keep on going. So I'll put in there, I informed Minnesota One Stop, who is my housing coordinator of the roach infestation. I put in here on number 7, the building owner and management did not fix the problem, which is true. No, they did not fix the problem. On 7/31/25 date, I gave Carl, landlord, and put the number up on there, who is named the owner and or manager, 24-hour notice that I would be requesting emergency relief from the court today. I did inform them of that. Explain in detail how you tried to tell the building owner and management that you were going to court, and describe what you told the person, including the talk to the person. Maybe I should just make copies of the text messages and attach them. I'm just gonna put like attach text message. You know, this is what I attempt to do, and you know, hopefully it has the date on it and all that. So I'm gonna fill this out a little bit more. I got a little bit more to fill out, but this is gonna be what I initially put in. So check number 9. It says the emergency problem is not the result of a deliberate or neglect act or omission by me or by anyone acting under my direct control. I checked that because that's accurate as far as I'm concerned. I didn't. These ain't problems I brought to the building. These were problems that were already there, already existed before my arrival and my signing of that lease. Number 10, it says I believe the following information will be helpful to the court. Explain in detail if there's any information about this emergency that you think will be helpful to the court's request for help. I am not unsatisfied with the unit. I seek to get professionals to make repairs. I do not intend on moving until the 12-month lease ends. My lease started July 30th when I signed not the later date due to Carl's attempts to commit fraud. So, despite I signed on the 30th, Carl and others continue on with this. Your lease didn't start until the 1st. That is incorrect. That's not lawful or legal. What you're claiming. You're claiming that the lease started on a different day than the day that it was signed. And you got paid. You got paid on the 30th, bro. You didn't get paid on the 1st, as far as I know. You didn't get paid on the 1st. The lease wasn't signed on the 1st. The lease was signed on the 30th of July, bro. So that's just you attempting to commit fraud. And I'm not here to play games like that. So it says here, I asked the court to order one of the more following. I initially scratched that, so I scratched that off because I do not want the building owner or management to immediately fix the emergency problems with the unit. I don't want them nowhere near the unit anymore. I would rather them allow me to fix the emergency problems with my housing unit and deduct the cost from my rent. So if I have to call pest control, if I have to contact a professional painter, if I have to contact someone to replace the carpet, which I do, someone to replace the cabinets, which I do, take that all out the lease, the cost of the lease or cost of the rent or whatever. So all that money that they would be getting should go to these repairs or the professionals to make those repairs. That's what I'm seeking happen. Okay, that's actually exactly what I want to happen. Within reason. It says here, direct the administrator to take over operations and property of the property to complete the emergency problems with my housing. I don't wish that. I don't think. I'm not sure, but we're gonna keep on moving. Direct the building owner to pay me rent, refund, or credit for the month of when my housing is not fixed. So yeah, I expect that the entire month of August be refunded and reapplied to the next month. After these, after I get professionals to go in there and make that unit habitable, and make sure that the unit is up to code and livable and reasonable, with the with accommodating, basic necessities like they're supposed to have, like, the walls painted correctly, the toilet running right, the pest infestation alleviated, the cabinets and stuff redone, and damage, like the damage to the wood be fixed, the damage to the unit be fixed as far as carpeting and et cetera, et cetera. After that, I'm good. After that, I don't want to see Carl's ass. As long as I have access to the unit and the unit itself outside doesn't look a hot mess like it does right now, because it looks terrible. Like, Carl needs to replace not only the carpet in the unit, but he needs to replace the carpet outside of the unit. It looks like trash. It looks garbage. It looks dirty and disgusting and vile. And, you know, I believe that they need to do a lot of maintenance within that entire building. But, you know, that's not my building to repair. That's Carl's building to repair. So, you know, that's that. I signed it under threat and perjury, blah, blah, blah. Not that the state of Minnesota cares about perjury, but that's what I have, you know. As of right now, I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of this out and submit it tomorrow, along with the text messages showing that I did, in fact, attempt to mediate and work it out with Carl, but Carl does not want to mediate, and, you know, he's doing everything else except for mediation. So I'm going to be going forward with this emergency petition to try to get this alleviated as soon as possible, because obviously sleeping out of my car is not feasible. Going to a shelter is not reasonable. And also paying to stay places, whether it's hotels or at my friend's house, is also unreasonable. And, you know, due to that fact, I'm demanding that emergency relief be granted to me. And also, you know, I'm gonna say the maximum, you know, the maximum should be granted to me, you know, plus the emotional distress that I'm going. Like, I'm gonna be dealing with this emotional trauma for the rest of my life. This happened on my birthday, so, you know, every time a birthday comes around, I'm gonna think about this day and how messed up and miserable I was. I didn't get to celebrate at all. I had a miserable birthday. You know, I'm just getting older and older, and this world is just getting worse and worse every year, and it sucks, and, you know, it really cripples my mental health thinking about dealing with Carl for a whole year. It really sucks. You know, I'm in a terrible space. I wish I could move. I wish I had a better option, because I really, at this point, you know, despite the fact that I really enjoy that unit, I like the unit, I like the location, I just don't like Carl. Carl is not a good person. He's not good management. He's not a good business owner or building owner, etc. You know, he's just a slumlord. He's just another terrible slumlord who I would want to not be around. And hopefully I can get a new housing coordinator and get a new place immediately. So that's my goals, and hopefully I'll be granted relief from the courts. Thank you.